What's going on, everybody? It is the one and only Q here from RetroQ Gaming with a follow-up, finally, to a very popular video I had earlier in the year, which hopefully helped many of you. Hopefully has paid off completely, and hopefully you listened, you waited, and you saved a crap load of money and got a crap load of performance for it. What are we talking about anyway? Well, earlier on in the year, naturally everyone was very hyped for Cyberpunk 2077, and many people were contemplating upgrading their computers, specifically their GPUs, to play this, what will probably be an amazing looking game, and hopefully is an amazing game in general, on the highest quality settings that of course only PC can afford. So many people were looking at possibly upgrading to a 2070, 2070 Super, 2080, 2080 Super, or 2080 Ti. Now I personally at the time recommended everyone against this, simply because at that point we were just shy of 2 years of the RTX 2000 series, so it led us to believe, with fairly reasonable doubt anyway, that there would be a new graphics card lineup from Nvidia coming soon, especially with all the teases of Ampere and all that they had going on. And well, lo and behold, here we are, the 1st of September. It has officially happened, it is officially announced. And yes, lads, boyos, boyoettes, whatever it is that even a word? Doesn't matter. Anyway, the important thing here, it is now finally time to upgrade for Cyberpunk 2077. Anything you were planning on doing in the next new build is definitely the time to do it, because we have several different important cards released today. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty 100% detail of every single one of them. I'm just going to give you the general overall idea here. So the main reason you're looking at this is the Nvidia RTX 3070, 3080 and 3090. Now, the big one here is the performance you're getting for all of these. Remember a while back in that old video when I said you could get better performance for a cheaper price, or the same performance for a cheaper price, or something like that? Well, that is exactly what these cards are going to offer. Starting off with the RTX 3070, this card will be available for $500. Well, as a starting price, we'll have to see how that one goes. But the important thing is you are looking at a 3070, $500 with performance above a 2080 Ti. And that right there, boyos, is huge when it comes to performance. It's also very reasonably priced relative to other high-end cards, at least anyway, and the performance you're getting back from it is definitely very accessible for high-end stuff and next gen. On a similar front, we're looking at the 3080 as well, and of course, this is their flagship GPU. This is the important one. This is the probably what will be the most used and most common one. Typically, sometimes it can be the 70 model. I always disagree with that. But for the price and performance of the 80, well, we're having a 1080 situation all over again. Usually the 80 cards are so much more expensive because of their performance, but you might remember when someone screamed right at Jensen live on stage, "I can afford that," when he gave the price of the GTX 1080. And here we are, same thing again with the 3080. You are looking at performance over double of an RTX 2080 and almost in around double, some is 90 odd percent, some is a little bit higher, of a 2080 Ti. And you know how a 2080 Ti will run you about $1,200 to $1,400? Yeah, this new 3080, which doubles it in performance, is going to cost $700. Now, both these two cards, the 3070 and 3080, will be available very soon on September 17th. So you've got just over 2 weeks to get your act together. Do a little bit of research, hopefully we get a couple of independent benchmarks in the meantime, and decide what's going into your build. But it wouldn't be fair if we didn't talk about the big dog, simply because here in the PC Gaming Master Race, we strive for the best, and that is where Nvidia delivers with the RTX 3090. Now the 3090 is a significant upgrade over the regular 3070, 3080, because this one, price versus performance, you're looking about a 4 times increase over a 2080 Ti. Using a 3090, they demoed live gameplay at 8K native resolution, 60 FPS. Ultra settings, ray tracing, all of that. That's a significant improvement, as is indicated by 2 different things. 1, the 24 gigabytes of RAM included on the card, and 2, the $1,500 price point. That's right. This card is essentially a Titan. They knew that the Titans had become, well, more real world useful than just, say, original development purposes, and now they have turned the Titan card into a standard RTX series consumer level GPU, if you will. It's still basically a Titan, still basically costs a Titan, and you're finally getting the performance, but it will be more easily and readily available. Typically, Titans were in very, very limited supply and they were much harder to come by. Only select outlets would sell them and whatnot, but now 3090 is becoming a standard card. One slight difference about the 3090, it will be available 1 week later than the two previous GPUs on September 24th. And again, starting at $1,500. So basically the only thing left over is to worry about which is the card for you. No matter what it is, I will recommend you get a 3080 because there's only €200. I know 200 still can be a little bit of a, it can be an amount for some people, but the price and performance you're getting in there, you pop this in, €200, $200, whatever it is now, gets you so much more gains over such a longer period of time. And don't worry, I'm not going to advocate everyone goes for a 3090, but the difference between price and performance on a 3070 versus a 3080, you'd kind of be mad not to go for a 3080. Unless you have major budgetary constraints that you're running into. Regardless though, even if you do pick up a 3070, you can rest assured and rest easy that you will be playing stuff like Cyberpunk 2077 in its top quality maximum glory much better than a 2080 Ti for less than half the price. Myself, well, I have some reflecting to do over the next 2 to 3 weeks. I had already pretty much resigned myself based on the leaks that I was going to buy a 3090, and it's still looking to be the case. I did think originally that 3080 would be a little bit cheaper than the 3090, but I didn't think it would be anywhere near as cheap as it is now, and now that we have it confirmed. So I have a little bit of reflecting to do, a little bit of questioning, but I'm leaning ever so slightly towards the 3090.